Time is literally an illusion and the fakest thing that exists on this planet. Now I have to wait for a second book that I didn't even know existed. I forgot how aggressive this sport is. They were beating each other up. The amount of pages I read could be wrapped around the perimeter of a pyramid, I think is what it said. Hello, everyone. It has been quite some time since I have vlogged. The last few years have just been hectic, I feel like. I have moved 2 times. I got more children. You can see a few of them here. This one is unnamed. This is Sprout. I finished all my prerequisites, so I'm good to apply for the program that I want to apply for, which is really exciting. I took the test for it a few days ago, and I'm submitting my application sometime this week. So fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed for that one. I got a job. I've been driving a lot more. I'm not as scared to drive as I used to be. I still get a little bit nervous, but it's a lot better than it was. I really miss filming. Literally the entire time off of filming, I have just been missing it, and I thought what better time to come back to it than now. I've been wanting to, I don't know. I stopped myself from doing it, but we're done with that. This is my microphone. Bestie Sasuke, he's a cutie patootie. But I want to start posting more. I'm going to aim for at least once a month, maybe once a week. We'll see how we're feeling, but once a month is our goal. I did a lot of reading in 2025, but I feel like we'll touch on that later because I feel like there's a lot that we could chat about that. But in total, I read 98 books, I think, according to Goodreads. So it was a pretty successful reading year. I guess we'll talk about what I'm planning to do in this vlog. I don't know how long this is going to last, like how long this vlog is going to be as a whole. I want to say the weekend. Today is Thursday, January 8th. It's not technically the weekend, but like I've said before in previous vlogs, I get to decide when my weekend starts. So maybe this will just be like a weekend reading vlog. Currently, I am reading The Night and the Moth. I literally only have like 10% left of this, I believe. Let me check. I literally have like 3% left of this book. I could have finished it last night, but I got extremely tired, so it did not get finished. This has been my main reading driver. I think the most physical books that I've read in like the last time since I vlogged was probably like 5 or 6. The rest of it has been on this thing and with Libby, which are my tried and true duo. Love them so much. My Kindle has since been redecorated and I added a little charm to it and a pop socket. This is the current setup. I love it 2 pieces. And then for Christmas, my older sister got me a Kindle page turner. It is the best thing I've ever gotten. I love my Kindle so much. I'm also reading Nana Volume 1, and then we're going to be reading The Dream Thieves. You guys know my relationship with the Raven Boys. I need to finish the series. I read the entirety of the first graphic novel of the Raven Boys at work when I had a lot of free time, so obviously Dream Thieves is next. I haven't read this in a few weeks, I want to say. I'm using a Costco receipt as my bookmark, and I'm on page 46, so we're going to be making some progress in this. My Hold for Hazelthorn by C.G. Drews, I believe is the author. Came in on Libby as well, so we're going to be starting that. And then we're going to maybe read Nana Volume 2. We'll see if I read through the first one quick enough. But yeah, so those are the immediate reading plans. And I guess I could talk to you guys about my planner because I've talked to you about my planner before. I ordered it pretty late, but I did order my planner for 2026 yesterday. And I've just been getting a piece of paper, writing down the day and like my general to-dos and like a very brief summary about what I did for that day, so it's easier to backfill once I get it because I want the whole thing to be full. I was planning on doing the same system that I did this year, which I got the Megan Rhiannon 2025 planner inserts, which are just, you can print it out yourself, which served me really great in 2025. I really enjoyed how that turned out. It was beautiful. Maybe I will show you guys later. It is stunning. I loved it so much. But when I was printing out the pages for 2026, I wasn't vibing with it, and I realized that I kind of miss having like a bound system and just having everything immediately ready. I know I could just print all the pages out like in bulk, but I didn't feel like doing that, and I kind of just wanted to change up the system a little bit. So I ordered a B6 Slim Sterling Ink planner compact. So I'm not sure when that will be coming in, but I'm really excited for it too and to get that all set up. So I feel like that's all I really have to chat about right now because I don't really know where else to go, and it's been literally 2 years since I vlogged, so I gotta get used to it again. But we're back. The rest of the plans for today is we want to start a puzzle, but we have to find a good table for that on. We, meaning me and Dev, we're gonna do yoga, I really need to finish The Night in the Moth because I literally only have 3% left. So I'm probably going to do that right after this clip, honestly, because I want to see how it ends. It's very interesting and I've had a great time. That's what we have on the agenda. That's where we're starting this vlog. Thank you guys so much for chilling with me. I'm very sorry for the long break. I didn't mean for it to last that long, but time is literally an illusion and the fakest thing that exists on this planet. What do you mean it's been 2 years since I vlogged? It feels like I just vlogged last week. Actually, no, that's a lie. It has felt like it's been some time since I vlogged. But like, time is still fake. It doesn't make any sense at all. But I think that's it for now. Thank you guys for listening to me chat, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So, goodbye. Did it stop? No. No! What am I gonna do with myself? Dude, I'm gonna cry. Wow. It's really just gonna end like that? Hello, everybody. So it is now Friday, almost a Saturday for some reason. It's not Saturday yet. It is Friday. It's a very extremely gloomy day today, which is so cozy. But I don't know if I'm going to be taking advantage fully of the gloomy vibe. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if it's going to be happening. I finished The Night in the Moth last night. But let me tell you, I was not expecting it to end like that, and I didn't know that this was a series. I thought it was just a standalone book for some reason, but I was proved wrong and incorrect, and I cried a little bit. I was very upset with how it ended, and I'm just in complete and utter disbelief that that is how she decided to end the book, and now I have to wait for a second book that I didn't even know existed. But you know, I should have known because when I first start reading books, it like says like the title, like on the Kindle, it says the title and then like the book number, and I just didn't pay any attention to that, and now I have to wait for another book and I don't know what to do with myself. So there's that. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. There were a few things that I felt were lacking. I wasn't really into the romance, I guess, that much, but I still enjoyed it. But I did just finish reading the Powerless series, which had me in an absolute chokehold. And if you know anything about that romance, you know that it is very enemies to lovers situation, and it was gorgeous. So I think coming off of that and going into this, the romance just wasn't at that level that the Powerless trilogy was, if that makes sense. Really love that series, by the way. 10 out of 10. I did start reading Hazelthorn last night as well. I don't have any thoughts yet that I can talk to you about because I'm only 1 chapter in. So that's a bit too early to talk about. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. It's very gothic and spooky, so I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm probably going to read some more of the Dream Thieves today. Perhaps. Actually, I think I want to. But we'll see, because we have a movie tonight. What are we watching tonight? Is This Thing On? We're watching that tonight. Our first movie of 2026. I'm very excited. And it's funny because in 2025, our second movie of the year was A Complete Unknown, which is Timothée Chalamet, and we ended off 2025 with Marty Supreme. So it was a Timothée Chalamet dedicated year, even though I think we only watched those two movies that have a minute, I believe, because we watched Dune in 24, right? Anyways, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. We're saying is this thing on tonight, and I'm excited to see how it goes. It's about stand-up comedy and a divorce and all that fun stuff, you know? Oh my gosh. And this morning, I reassembled my five-sauce shrine. As you saw, I had them all laid out. It took me a second because I didn't like initially how it was laid out, but I did change it, and I like it a lot better now. And I love my five-sauce boys. And I forgot to tell you guys, since the time that I've been away, we got Michael and Callum solo albums, as well as a new Five Sauce album. So literally all the boys have solo albums, and we got a new Five Sauce album, and it's lovely. I love these boys so much. As you guys probably know, I've cried about them a few times on my channel. They have my heart and soul. What can I say? After that, I made some oatmeal cookies, and I haven't tried them yet. I tried the dough. They are currently chilling in the fridge, which I am about to put them in the oven, and I will hopefully update you guys later how they turn out. But the dough was really good. My older sister actually sent me the recipe, and I was like, ooh, I need to try these. And Dev has been wanting oatmeal cookies for I don't even know how long, but I just didn't want to make them because he wanted raisins in them, and I don't like raisins. But we don't have raisins, so hopefully I will enjoy these. We didn't end up doing a puzzle last night, but we did yoga, which felt nice. Also kind of hurt. I think today on the body movement agenda is Pilates, which I'm scared for because we did Pilates a few days ago and that really hurt me. So I'm a bit nervous. I don't know what today, like what is targeting today, but I guess we'll see. I didn't realize, like I knew a lot of time passed since I last vlogged, but I didn't really realize like how much time I lost in that time, you know, because sometimes like I use my vlogs as like kind of like memory keeping in a way because I like to go back and watch my vlogs because not to toot my own horn or anything, but I think they're pretty good. But I didn't realize like how much I missed out, and we just have so much to catch up on. But like I don't even know where to start because there's just so much. Later today or tomorrow or Sunday, very many possibilities of when this could happen. I do want to talk to you guys about what I got up to in 2025 reading wise. It was a really, really, really successful reading year, as I talked about in the beginning. 98 books, but I do think that is kind of faulty because Goodreads did double count a few of my books because I would mark them as read on my Kindle because for some reason it didn't mark it as read, and then I realized it was double counting. So maybe it was a bit less than 98, but it was somewhere in that vicinity, and that is the most I've read in a long time. So we have much to talk about. Much to talk about. I think that's all that I really have to update at this point in time. I don't know what I'm going to get up to after this clip is filmed. I think me and Dev might play Overcooked, which would be really fun. I really like that game. What am I saying? That is all I have to update for now. Actually, no, that's a lie. We did start listening to Noah Kahan's Stick Season album. I don't know how I haven't listened to that before because it's just so good. Like, I heard Stick Season, of course, because like that's like his most well-known single, but I haven't listened to the whole album, and we only listened to a few songs, and it was giving what it needed to give, and I felt like I needed to cry, but I just did my makeup, so I couldn't cry. I couldn't afford it, you know. But it was really good, and it was stunning. And I might actually be stealing my sister's vinyl because she does have a vinyl of it, so I can listen to it on my record player because I feel like that would be like the perfect way to listen to it, and that's the way that it was intended to be heard, you know. Some albums are just like they're just perfect on vinyl, you know, like they just don't compare to like streaming. Anyways, I'm gonna go for now because I don't really know what I'm talking about and I'm rambling. So I will see you guys when I see ya, and bye. Hello, everybody. So it is now Saturday. Now it's officially the weekend. So today is going to be a very sporting day. Chelsea is actually playing right now as we speak. So I need to film this quickly so I don't really miss much because I feel like I'm gonna miss stuff. And then later tonight, me and Dev are actually going to a hockey game, which I haven't been to a hockey game in a long, long time. Me and my family used to go a lot when I was little, and that was like 10 years ago or more. My last hockey game. Actually, no, about 14 years ago, I believe, because I think the last one I went to, I was like around 10. So if my math is mathing correctly, that was 14 years ago. But I'm really excited. It's going to be so much fun. Dev's never been to one, and I think he's going to really enjoy it. The movie last night was very good. I really enjoyed it. I have no notes, but I don't really have many opinions either. It was just a good, solid movie. I should have recorded when we walked around the mall because we did go to Barnes& Noble. I did not buy anything. We looked around a couple other stores. I did buy a bunch of Labubu shirts because Uniqlo finally put them on sale for $5, so I got a few of those. I'm wearing one of them right now. You can't really see it, but it's cute. Or whatever. But I love my Labubu clothes. They're adorable. The cookies did turn out very good. The only complaint that I have is that I didn't make enough, and I wish that I had more because they were delicious, and I want more. Reading updates that I have for you. I am now 63% through Nana Volume 1. This volume is really just introducing us to the Nanas. So I have met the first Nana with red hair, and now I'm on to the Rockstar Nana, and she seems really cool, and I'm excited to see when these characters actually meet and what it is like when they meet, because I feel like their dynamics are extremely different. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm still reading The Dream Thieves. I'm now on chapter 12. Wait, no, that's a lie. I stopped in the middle of a chapter because I was reading this when I went to pick up my nephew from school. I am on page 92. We've made a little bit of progress in The Dream Thieves. I'm really loving it. I love the vibe so much. I don't really know what's happening with like the kings and the ley lines and the magic and all of that stuff, but I trust these boys. I trust Gansey. I trust Blue. I'm just here for the ride, honestly, and I miss the vibes. And I'm excited to actually continue out with the series and get past book 3. Because the farthest I've gotten was halfway through book 3, and I've been reading these books for I don't even know how long, so it's just about time for me to finish it up. I have not made any more progress on Hazelthorn. I'm still where I left off last talking to you guys, so I have no updates on that, but I did see the physical copy in person in Barnes & Noble, and it had the most stunning, like, maroon red sprayed edges. Perfect. Fits the vibe so well. I think that's really all that I have to update for now. So I'm gonna go watch the Chelsea game. Hopefully it goes well, fingers crossed, because we've been not doing so hot. Hello, everybody. It's me again. So it is still Saturday. It is the evening time. I think it's around 10 p.m. right now, but we just got back from the hockey game. It was very good. I forgot how aggressive this sport is, and we saw like 3 fights break out on the ice where like they were beating each other up, and it was a bit scary. The team that we went to go see, they lost. It was 5-1, I believe that was the final score, but you know, they still played pretty well. Still went good. Yeah, that's about all that I have to report on the hockey game. Chelsea, the Chelsea game, I stayed awake for the first half, but then the second half started and I could not keep my eyes awake to save my life. I mean, my eyes awake. I couldn't keep my eyes open to save my life. And I ended up falling asleep and I ended up missing one heck of a game because the final score ended up being 5-1. And I think when I fell asleep, it was like 2-1. I did wake up a couple times, but I didn't retain anything that I saw. So that is unfortunate. I feel like I always miss a lot of stuff when I fall asleep watching Chelsea games. Maybe I just need to fall asleep for the team to do good. Maybe I just need to sleep through the games. I read a few more pages of Nana. I read that when I was at the hockey game, but then I felt a little bit self-conscious because there were people sitting behind me, and the scene that I was reading, they were, I think, in a hot tub, but they didn't have clothes on. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't be reading this in public. So then I read a few pages of Hazelthorn. Do not recollect what happened in Hazelthorn. I think our main character found like a greenhouse type of room. I think that's where I ended off, and it was pretty cool. I did not read any more of the Dream Thieves. Oh my gosh, and getting to the hockey game was a time because Dev's car battery died and we had to jump start it, but the way the batteries were. And the batteries were on opposite sides, so we didn't have the same size jumper cables. So then we had to pull the car into the grass, but then I got scared it would be in the neighbor's grass. But anyways, we jumped his car, but we were kind of scared that if we took his car to the game, then we'd be stranded there all night and have to like sleep in the car or something dramatic like that. Even though I'm pretty sure someone would come pick us up or jump his car again so we could get home. But you know me, I jump to worst case scenario mostly all of the time. Just one of my quirks, I guess. But we ended up taking my dad's car and everything was fine. I don't think I have anything else to update at this point in time. I'm going to get ready for bed and probably read some. I don't know what I'm gonna read because I'm honestly really into all of the books that I'm reading at the moment. I really like all of them. So I don't really know what I'm gonna read. I'm feeling gravitated towards the Dream Thieves, but I also kind of want to read on my Kindle. And the Dream Thieves is a physical book. I did put it on hold on Libby, however, because they had it available. But I feel like I might read the book physically in full before my hold even comes in. So maybe I didn't even need to put it on a hold. But just in case it gets returned early, I have it. Hello, everybody. I'm using my front-facing camera instead of my back-facing camera. Uh, for what reason? I don't know. You can see little Ellie peeking in the background. She's such a cutie. But hello, everybody. It is actually not the weekend anymore. It is now Tuesday. Yesterday, I just could not be bothered to turn on the camera or do anything. Sunday, me and Dev were just hanging out because it was his last day of freedom before we went back to school yesterday. So we were kind of just hanging out all day, and I didn't really feel like vlogging, and I low-key forgot that I was. You can see my record player cables peeking in the background, but just ignore them. It is now time to close out the vlog and also do our 2025 reading book chats, because I have yet to do that, and I promised you that I would. So we're going to. I'm going to stick to my word. Even though I could have just edited it out and pretended that I never even mentioned it. So I think we'll start off with our 2025 reading chats first, and then we'll move to our reading updates to kind of close out the vlog, and where we started. I'm also not wearing my rings, but it's fine. 2025 reading stats. I got the correct number back and the really fun stuff. I read 85 books in 2025, and I was the top 5% of readers with 23,150 pages read, which honestly is a lot. I think it said something about a pyramid. The amount of pages I read could be wrapped around the perimeter of a pyramid, I think is what it said. I don't remember exactly, so I read a lot of pages. My top genre was manga, which honestly is not surprising because I did start reading through Naruto in 2025. If you couldn't tell by my friend Sasuke here, I got very into it. I am on volume 54, and I have not read any since because I'm too scared for it to finish. I think I have less than 20 left. There's 72 volumes in total, so I don't really have much to go, and I'm kind of scared where it's gonna go from here, but I honestly need to pick it up soon. So maybe I'll be finishing out the series with you guys in a vlog. Maybe not one set vlog. Maybe you'll just see the progress over many vlogs. So if you are dedicated and interested in seeing me finish up Naruto, just make sure you keep an eye on my vlogs because it will probably be in one of those where I finish it, and I'll probably put it in the title when I do finish it. I love Naruto, so good. I can't really tell you who my favorite character is, honestly. I want to say it is just Naruto because he himself is just a lovely person, and I love his personality and everything that he stands for. But honestly, I can't really pick a favorite because I love them all to pieces and for different reasons. But I've been really enjoying my time with Naruto, and I'm very happy that I finally decided to pick it up. I started reading it in May of 2025, in case you were curious. Let's see. Shortest and longest books are next. Shortest book I read was I Who Have Never Known Man, and that one was 175 pages. I adored that book to pieces. Honestly, I think it's one of the top books that I read in 2025. I really loved it. It was a very powerful book, even though it was really short. If you haven't read it yet, highly recommend it. It's a very short book, but it's very powerful. But I would recommend maybe checking the trigger warnings before you read it. But I really love that book. I'm so glad that I picked it up. I don't even know where I've heard it from, but it was in some YouTube video, and I was like, ooh, yes. And then my library so happened to have it available, so I picked it up right then and there, and one of the best decisions I made, honestly. And then the longest book that I read was Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and that one was 664 pages. That book was a reread for me, and it did actually push me to start reading the second book, which I've been meaning to since I read the book the first time. I want to say back in 2015. So it's been a long time coming. I'm still in the middle of the second book. I want to say I enjoyed it more the second time around that I read it than the first one because I felt like I had more of an understanding of like the world and the magic system and the characters and just everything involving the story. I feel like I had a better grasp on it than I did the first time I read it because it was my first adult fantasy read. Reading it now when I have more of a foundation in reading adult fantasy, and obviously I've read more books since the time that I first read it, so I felt like I had I had more of a like I had more of like a base level knowledge, if that makes sense, because obviously I read it before. I felt like I had more of an appreciation for it, if that makes sense. And this year is going to be, I'm going to finish the Raven Boys and I'm going to finish the Mistborn trilogy. Hold me to it, please. And then my average book length was 269 pages and my average rating was 4.2. So overall, it was a really great reading year and I'm very proud of all the books that I got read. Granted, 54 of the 86 were Naruto volumes, and there were some Spy Family volumes mixed in there, but they're still books, so it still counts. So I read 84 books in the year of 2025, which very far exceeded my goal of 20 books. Go me! I did make my goal for 2026 also 20 books because I feel like that is the most attainable. I feel like I'd rather want to set myself up for success than to kind of push myself to read more books, you know? Because I feel like when I set my goal lower, I actually end up reading more. So it's better to set it lower than higher because it feels more achievable. To close out the vlog, we will talk about what I ended up reading this weekend. As you know, I finished reading The Knight and the Moth. I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm very excited to see what happens in the second book. I don't even know when it's going to be released. But I'm excited for the second book that I didn't know existed. I finished reading Nana Volume 1, which I was reading reviews and people said that it was more of like a prologue to the story and not necessarily part of the story. So it really was just set up introducing you to the Nanas, kind of getting you familiar with where they are in life and what they're up to and what they're getting up to and what leads them to the decisions that they make to meet each other. I made it through Nana Volume 2, and it was really good. I think I gave that 4 out of 5. The first one I gave 3. The second one I gave 4. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. But I do have to say, Hachi, she is the non-rock star Nana. I really hate how her friends treat her. Like, they just suck. And, like, they're so mean to her for no reason. And it just, I want to cry for her because they're just so rude and she's just trying to navigate this new life that she's trying to make for herself. And they're just rude. And it makes me upset. I did almost cry for her, actually, a few times because they were just, like, being, like, too rude. I was like, guys, come on, give her a chance. She's just a little guy. I did read more of Hazelthorn. I don't know exactly the percentage that I am in through it now, but a murder has taken place. That's not a spoiler because it is in the synopsis. And things are kind of unraveling, and it's getting really interesting, and I'm excited to see what's gonna transpire from here. And I'm actually really invested in the story. And I also did make more progress in The Dream Thieves. I'm on page 194, I believe, but I don't really have much to say about that. I love the characters so much. Every time I'm reading The Raven Boys, I just feel like I'm at peace. I love them to pieces. But yeah, so that is going to be the end of my first vlog back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry if it was all over the place. I gotta find my footing and how to vlog again because it's been a year and 9 months. Exactly, I did the math. Not 2 years, but close enough. But yeah, thank you guys so much for chilling with me this weekend. I hope you had a lovely time. I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Comment down below what you guys have been reading this year and what your reading goals are, because I would love to know. All of my socials will be linked in the description as always. And I will see you guys in my next video. Take care of yourselves and goodbye!